It's 7 p.m. I'm going to call this meeting to order. I'd like to bring forward Scout Pack 67, Wolf Den 1, Matthew Ostrom, William Mackin, and Jacob Scott to lead the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, boys. Great job.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Before we begin our regular meeting, we are going to begin with our public hearing for local law number 1 of 2014. Ms. Wazenager.
Yes, public notice is hereby given that there has been presented to the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis, Orange County, New York, on the 10th day of February 2014, a proposed local law number 1 of the year 2014, entitled "A Local Law to Amend the City of Port Jervis Zoning Map, Chapter 355 of the City of Port Jervis Code, to expand the residential office RO district near City Hall." Full text is on file for public review at the office of the City Clerk Treasurer, 20 Hammond Street, Port Jervis, New York, during regular business hours. Therefore, pursuant to the municipal home rule law of the state of New York, the City Clerk Treasurer of the City of Port Jervis will hold a public hearing on the aforesaid proposed local law in the council chambers, 20 Hammond Street, Port Jervis, New York, at 7 p.m. on the 24th day of February 2014, at which time all interested persons will be heard by order of the Common Council.
Thank you. This being a public hearing for local law number 1 of 2014, I'd like to open it to the public for any comment. Hearing no comment, is there any comment from the council? I just wanted to let everybody know that we did receive back from Orange County Planning today their opinion on this, and that there would be no negative impact. So that came back from County Planning today. Hearing none, can I have a motion to close the public hearing? I have a motion by Mr. Ritchie, a second by Mr. Walagrowski. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. As far as our youth report, Mr. Michael Conklin's here to give us our youth report for the night.
Thank you. At the Port Jervis High School, Dylan Booth and Dan DiCarlo are both going to states for wrestling. Port Jervis High School SAD presents the Harlem Wizards versus the Faculty Hoop Stars. Come down to Port Jervis High School on March 5th at 7 o'clock to watch the faculty of Port Jervis School District go head-to-head with the Harlem Wizards. All proceeds will benefit the Port Jervis Students Against Destructive Decisions group, and will help fund the after-prom breakfast and all-night grad party for the students of Port Jervis High School. The Port Jervis Middle School's production of Schoolhouse Rock was a huge hit. Congratulations to Ms. Crossman and crew. At ASK on February 26th, kindergarten registration will be held from 3:30 to 5. HB will also be having Read Across America Day on March 7th. If anyone is interested in reading, please contact Mrs. Eli at 858-3100. Monday, March 10th, schools are closed for Teacher In-Service Day. The next school board meeting will be held on March 4th at the high school. On Saturday, March 8th, at 10 o'clock a.m., the Port Jervis Rec Department is holding their annual Cops and Kids basketball game and canned food drive at the ASK gym. Port Jervis Police will take on the 6th graders from the Winter League. This is a special event that is open to the public and is free of charge. In place of admission, they are asking all players and spectators to bring a canned food in. All donated cans will be given to a local food pantry. Come join them for a great morning of basketball and festivities. And finally, happening at Empowering Port Jervis, March 11th, April 8th, and May 6th at 4 p.m., Literacy Orange presents a family literacy gathering. Listen to a story, complete a project, and enjoy refreshments. Reading and writing fun for 4 and 5-year-old children. Reading and writing tips for parents and caregivers. To register, go down to 11 Fowler Street to get a registration form. This will be a great opportunity. That's all I have.
Great. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
If anybody needs this or didn't catch them all real quick, it will be up on our website under the community calendar, so you'll be able to access it there on the Port Jervis website. Thank you, Michael. We do have somebody that's interested in doing our senior report. Sue DiGianamasso is interested in doing it, although she doesn't want to come live. So what she's going to do is she's going to create the report, and via Stanley Siegel, she's going to report it. Did she give anything to you to report?
She's going to start next meeting.
Next meeting. Okay, thank you very much. And for those of you out there, we're also looking if there's any veterans out there to discuss what the veterans are doing in the area. I'd appreciate anybody coming forward to give a veterans report.
I think Henry Dunn might offer to do that for you.
That's great. Thank you. We have a presentation tonight by Meredith Nierenberg, right, and Michael Darcy from RUPCO.
So the update from the high school kid was awesome. I've never seen that at a town board before, or city hall, a council meeting. That was pretty cool. I'm Mike Darcy. I'm the municipal outreach coordinator for the 10 counties in the Mid-Hudson region for the NYSERDA Green Jobs Green New York program. And this is my coworker Meredith Nierenberg, and she's the outreach coordinator for Orange County. And we're here to talk about the Green Jobs Green New York program and what steps we can do to create a partnership and move forward. Obviously, we want to give thanks for you having us. It's important for us to be here. We feel that it's worth it to create a slide to recognize your efforts in having us here. So thank you. RUPCO. We are a housing consortium. We are a not-for-profit that's been around since, I think, 1980. We have a new logo because we used to be RUPCO, Rural Ulster Preservation Company, but now we are outside of that and we are more regional. So our mission is to strengthen homes, communities, and lives. And we have a contract with New York State to conduct outreach for the Green Jobs Green New York program. NYSERDA. If you don't know what NYSERDA stands for, it is the New York State Research and Development Authority. They were established in 1975, and they are tasked with addressing the state's energy usage and environmental challenges. And their mission is to create innovative solutions and programs.
And if you're not familiar how NYSERDA is funded, it is actually the majority of their funds is collected through the system benefits charge, which is a small fee that we're all paying on our utility bill and is collected by the Public Service Commission. And there have been other funds added to several programs that have now made them more accessible to residents, which we'll talk about next.
So we only have a limited amount of time, so what I've done is I've printed slides out for your review. Please do review them. I'm going to skip through some of the long ones so that we're not making a boring PowerPoint more boring. Right. So the Home Performance with Energy Star program has three main programs: the Assisted Home Performance Program and the Empowered program. These services include free or reduced cost energy audits for the County of Orange. The income level for a free audit is it's $174,400. So if you have a combined household income of under that, you can receive a free energy assessment from the state of New York. Okay? This program saves up to $700 a year on utility bills, potentially. And when we talk about that, we get into the reason why I started doing this. I don't do this because I'm a salesman. I do this because I want to help. I'm a volunteer firefighter in the city of Kingston. I'm a Marine. I started a neighborhood watch in my city. And so I'm asking you to understand that the reason why I do this is because I do believe that this program helps people. So when we talk about how much money it saves, I think about whether or not kids can go to school on the first day of school with new sneakers as opposed to paying their utility bill. So this is one of the reasons why I do this.
I just want to interject as well that so this program stemmed out of the Green Jobs Green New York Act, which was passed in 2009, and that was New York State and our legislators making a commitment to retrofit our existing homes. They are very leaky and inefficient, especially in upstate New York, and they have dedicated $12 million to do that. And their goal is to retrofit 1 million homes, and through that process, create green jobs. So we're talking about sort of economic vitality by creating more green jobs and also helping people save money at the same time.
Which which happens by getting more people into the audit process and making the contractors that are in this program busier. Right? So they have funding opportunities to hire part-time through PONs, Public Opportunity Notices, and they also hire veterans who get these certifications and also get reimbursed for their by the GI Bill cost for taking these exams in what I'm certified as an envelope professional and building analyst. So that's another important aspect of what this legislation enacts. Program eligibility can be anywhere from 1 to 4 unit residential properties. I'm not going to come here and talk to you about Fort Jervis and not use a photo of Fort Jervis. You have a photo of Fort Jervis. It includes all heating types, fuel, pellets, a candle under a clay pot. They don't care. They want to know what you're heating with. And structures must be in New York State, and that is stating the blatantly obvious. It's also my understanding that this house that I used this photo of was recently redone. I don't know if any of you recognize it, but it was recently remodeled and is still a 5-unit building. And this would be not so much the 5-unit part. Yeah, not so much the 5-unit part, but it is the type of building that we're looking for. Older housing stock, and we can include them into a multifamily program as well. So, and the last picture is ice damming. We all know what that is. We all know what the cause of that is. If you don't, it is because the heat is escaping through your attic and it is melting snow, and as it melts off, it is freezing on the edge, thus causing your gutters to go down and sometimes infiltrating the house and causing leaks inside the house and structural damage. So these are one of the things that we look for when we're out in the field doing it. The program is supposed to be free for 92% of New York State. Does that number cover 92% of Fort Jervis?
Yeah, it certainly does.
Or more.
Right. So the audit application process is really easy. That's sort of a negative image of it because there's really only 2 main parts that are super important. One is that you provide us your income level. We want to know where you're at income-wise so we can filter you into the right program. Again, the Empower program is free for people, so we want to know where you are so we can put you in the right program. The other important part is providing 12 to 24 months of utility usage. This is important for the contractor and for the state to figure out where your savings is going to be. Okay, they want to calculate your savings based on what your usage is. And of course, the last part is signing it. That's pretty important. So let's sign that. Home performance is basically like going to a doctor and getting a physical done. This program looks at the house in a comprehensive manner, like you were going to have a physical on your body from head to toe. It looks at everything from combustion safety, whether your appliances are running an appropriate, appropriate efficiency level, finding air leaks, checking the quality of your insulation. How many of you have those little golden pellets in your house, the vermiculite? They want to know about that. This is, some of that is mined next to asbestos mines. It's a good thing to know if that you have that in your house or not. Lighting and appliances and ventilation, but it's much more than that. Health and safety, comfort, durability, and long-term value of the home. When we talk about health and safety, I was telling Mary Decker, I'm certified in this work by BPI, and I did the field exam in my house to get a free energy audit, which worked, and I found 5 gas leaks. I've owned my house for 16 years, and I didn't realize that there were gas leaks there. So that's what we talk about with health and safety. And as far as comfort goes, if you have, an aunt or an uncle who lives in the house and they have, most of the house blanketed off and they're living in one part of their house, that's the comfort part of it. We want to be able to have people use their whole home and not just be cordoned off in one little section of it. And of course, environmental benefits. Program incentives, this is where we talk about some important things. I'm going to let Meredith talk to you a little bit about that.
Sure. So just to sort of reiterate on the benefits, we have very high utility bills. We have, uncomfortable rooms that we're living in. The bottom line is to improve the quality of life for residents. And NYSERDA offers a variety of attractive incentives as well as 2 low-interest financing options to let people do this with no money out of pocket, and they're able to use their savings to help pay for this work. So for the incentives, if you're at, do I just click?
Sure.
Yeah. So really, if you fall under 80% of the area median income for a family of 4, that's around $68,000, you qualify for a grant to cover 50% of the work up to $5,000. So that is for a single family home. Now, if we're talking about 2 to 4 units, you could get up to $10,000. And if that is a landlord that owns that property, it depends on their tenants. So if their tenants qualify below that 80%, then they still are eligible and receive money to help make improvements in that home. And of course, we know if landlords are making investments in their home, then their renters will probably want to stay longer.
I think we should repeat that. That's $10,000 that you can get towards a job.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
And you know, if anyone is above that 80% threshold, you still can qualify for a 10% cash back. And for those that fall under 60%, which is our HEAP guidelines, that program is completely free. So we want to funnel as many people as we can into that program to make sure that they qualify. And if they need additional assistance, we could roll them back into the home performance program.
So the Empower covers things like lighting replacement, so getting away from incandescents and going towards CFLs or LEDs, insulation in places that are missing, air sealing around storm windows, doors, storm doors, things like that, and appliance replacement for things that are, appliances that are over 10 years old. They're not going to be as efficient as they could, and they provide funding for that. Meredith's going to talk more about this.
So again, no one really wants to hear about taking out another loan, but the cost of replacing a furnace, doing a whole house insulation project can add up very quickly. So that's the point of these financing options. They're low interest, they're both at 3.49% and up to $25,000. And they were set up so that your average monthly savings will never exceed, your average monthly loan payment will never exceed your savings. So at the end of the day, you'll be cash flow positive, and you'll be using your energy savings to, your money savings to help pay for these improvements.
So, real quick, because we really did go very quickly through this, and I know we have just a couple minutes. Just on-bill recovery is one of the best loan products that are out there. Okay, if you have the ability to take out a loan and make these payments on it, on-bill recovery allows you to do that onto your utility bill. It becomes a line item. So if you say you get the audit done, you get a report at the end of the audit process, the homeowner does, and the homeowner has in that report how much they're going to save if they get this work done. Let's say that's $75. $75 a month in savings. The $75 is what you pay towards that loan on your utility bill. So you're immediately seeing that once the work is done, you're seeing that $75 in savings, and that's how much you're paying off. They don't want you to have another burden in your pocket to pay for this work, and that's how on-bill recovery came in. It's not perfect. The market fluctuates. It's going to go up and down. I can't tell you that it's going to remain the same, but the idea behind it is that it does remain the same.
Michael, let's just clarify that again so they understand this. This, to most of our homeowners here, would either be free or fall under this program where they can get these repairs done and there's no change in the utility bill, but it comes out of their utility bill.
Right. When we're talking about the city of Port Jervis's median income being about $30,000 compared to Orange County's median income at about 80, you have a population that could be served very well by the Empower program and the Assisted program.
Yeah, and another point of clarification, there's no obligation past the assessment, so that is completely free. And then a customer would be signing a separate contract and choosing different line items based on what they can afford.
They prioritize their own work.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm the regional energy coach, and this is where I sit down with customers and go over this report that they get, which in some people's eyes is really this building science way of explaining stuff. And I can just remain sort of layman about it and explain it in a better way.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different details in the program, but the benefit of us and why we're here is that I speak with every single customer, and we help over 300 customers per month, and we're helping them navigate through these programs, filling out applications, understanding their options, understanding how the benefits of the programs, and and helping people just digest all this information. So I think really to wrap up, I don't know if there's any more.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing you have in your package, and the reason why I put it last, is because it's for your consideration. We have communities within the Mid-Hudson region that have created a partnership with us. And based on that, I've created what's called a draft partnership pact resolution for your consideration to pass. And it creates a position within the town council, whether it be the clerk or the assistant to the mayor or a council member themselves, as an energy liaison. and that's our go-to person for where to go in your community to talk about this stuff. We don't want to be the outsiders coming in and saying, you know, trying to know it all. We want to rely on you as a trusted source, energy liaison, to tell us where to go and to guide us. You know your community better than anyone, and that's why we're here. So please consider that, and we'll be here at the end. We hope that you save your questions till then and come and see us at the end of the meeting, and we'll be happy to answer any of the questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you. With that said, just perfect timing. Stay right there. I'd like to introduce our district attorney, Dave Hoovler, who would like to speak to the council and to the public.
Good evening, Mayor. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come before you tonight. I appreciate it very much, and to the residents of Port Jervis. I just wanted to come by and introduce myself. Most of you know me, but just come by, say hello. Let you know about some of the enforcement activities that we've taken in Port Jervis, let you know about the performance of some of your officers here, and just let you know where we're going in general at the district attorney's office. First, today, as a result of the excellent police work of your department, as well as with the assistance of the state police in the city of Newburgh, a gentleman was sentenced to 10 years in state prison for breaking into Sam and Mabel's and selling guns as a result of his actions in that. As I said, 10 years in state prison. He was responsible for 13 firearms, taking 13 firearms in that case. Another individual that was arrested with him faces a similar outcome down the road, has already pled guilty. The sentence will be determined by a judge. It really was the excellent work of your police department. Your chief here, William Warden, he knows the detectives and the individuals who put a lot of time in on that case. It would not have been solved without their diligent work. So I think that you need to know that. Just this past Friday, 2 individuals selling drugs were arrested. Criminal controlled substance in the 5th degree, low-level drug felonies, but very significant to the residents of this community. Again, your police department did an excellent job. But what I'm really proud of regarding your police department here, I mandated to the district attorney's office that within my first 30 days in office, we'd have a major drug sweep. And the parameters were, it had to encompass Middletown, Port Jervis, and the city of Newburgh. And we did that. 31 individuals were arrested at the end of January. 3 of those individuals came from Port Jervis. Those 3 individuals were arrested here as a result of a search warrant. They had 2 firearms, a 22 caliber pistol as well as a 9mm. They had a staggering 22 grams of crack cocaine that was found in their home here in Port Jervis, along with 58 bags of heroin, 17 oxycodone pills. And it led us clearly to learn a path of drug trade craft that was showing this was coming from New Jersey and coming to here. Once again, your police department did an excellent job in handling that, and I have nothing but praise for them. I think all the members of the council here, you know, you are blessed, without a doubt, with one of the best departments in the county. I'm very happy that Chief Warden, I spoke with him prior to taking office, I spoke with him after. I said it's open season. If you're going to sell drugs or sell guns, the district attorney's office is going to come after you. And he took our message, and we've had success here in the first 2 months of the year. Enforcement alone is not enough. I'm very happy to tell you that I think, Mayor, you're aware of it, some on the council. The Court Connections program is coming to your court here in Port Jervis very soon. It's already implemented in Middletown. It is a rehabilitative treatment type program that focuses on low-level misdemeanor offenders that have a dual occurring diagnosis of a mental illness problem as well as a substance abuse problem. I'm very happy that your chief, as well as your judges here, and the County Department of Mental Health, we're going to have that program up and operating very shortly here in Port Jervis, because treatment and rehabilitation has to be part of any attack on the problem. Enforcement alone won't do it. And I think that will work to the benefit of the residents of your community. That being said, that's sort of an update of what the district attorney's office is doing in your community with your police department. I would like to extend my invitation to any of you, if you would like to come take a tour of the district attorney's office, or you would like to know more about what we can do to partner with your community, whether it's in outreach, whether it's enforcement, whether it's rehabilitation, we will do that on the terms that you want. Finally, from time to time, I will call you, Mayor, and someone from my staff will stop by once, twice, maybe 3 times a year, just to let you know about the major occurrences in your city. But obviously, what I'm really here to say is that Port Jervis is a priority for me. Everyone in my administration knows it. And my door is always open, my phone is always on, and I'm here to address the problems that you have. Whether it's crime prevention, crime control, and like I said, enforcement is the name of the game, but there has to be rehabilitation and treatment. Those things work hand in hand. That being said, I'd take any questions you have or anything that you'd like to know.
Mr. Hoovler, on behalf of the City Council and the residents of the City of Port Jervis, we want to thank you. You're doing a fantastic job coming out of the gate as District Attorney. We can't ask for any better, and we know that your focus is on making Port Jervis a better place to live for everyone. And between you and your ADAs, we truly appreciate all the help that you're giving to us.
I thank you. I'm going to talk with your chief a little bit as we get to the summer about what we call hotspot containment and prosecution. You have different areas of your city where there's problems and it's geographic. Crackdown can be had on that particular area, and we can focus on problem individuals in that specific area in both aspects I said before, an enforcement aspect as well as a treatment and rehabilitation aspect. Because our goal is always to people that are willing and able to be treated, that want to, we want to get them into the treatment. Those that are unwilling, unable, or just have a criminal history that are undeserved, there's a place for them. But again, my door is always open. If you're in Goshen, please feel free to stop in, even if you don't have an appointment. If I'm there, I'll gladly take you for a tour and show you what we do.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We move on to public comment. There's a 5-minute limit. Please state your name and the ward that you live in, or your address if you don't know the ward.
Hi, Peter Greck, 4th Ward. Just a quick factual correction for an item I saw in the Gazette. Shouldn't be said that there's no bedding at 11 Fowler, but rather insufficient bedding. And also, I know this doesn't happen often, but I wanted to give praise to Stan Siegel for bringing forward the idea of, I hope this is being recorded, bringing forward the idea of a ice festival in the region, in our city. I think it's a great idea, Stan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can come back anytime you want.
Is there anyone else from the public that would like to speak? Hearing none, I have a motion for approval of last meeting's minutes. So a motion by Mr. Ritchie, a second by Mr. Bobozo. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Committee reports, Finance and Insurance, Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Mayor. Finance Committee met last Monday. We had discussions regarding cash flow, insurance renewals, and then spent the rest of the meeting trying to reduce the capital note down to a manageable figure of around $100,000. We came down pretty close to it. The only other thing that we talked about was the state audit that reported that we didn't need a full order, as our procedures were adequate and followed the rules that were necessary. And thank you for calling for the original one, Mayor. That next meeting on that will be on the 17th, I believe. And that will be following DPW and Fire and Emergency Management. We do have quite a few bills to pay. Out of the general and water funds, we have the New York State Employees Health Insurance for payment for February, $152,907.13. The Orange and Rockland January supply charges, $27,882.34. Orange County landfill for January, $15,589.30. And RC Lane insurance renewal, $44,340.21. Out of the capital fund, the New York State Restore funds, $182,147.30. From K&E fire apparatus for our new ladder truck, $770,133. The totals from the general fund, $248,631.99. Water fund, $29,683.01. And from the capital fund, $961,367.24, for a total of $1,239,682.24. And I think we have to make a motion to go ahead and pay those bills.
I have a motion by Mr. Bell, a second by Mr. Ritchie. Discussion. I will say, I don't think I'd ever thought that I would sign $1 million check, but I signed one, so.
You got it. That's all I have.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. That's all?
That's it.
Thank you, sir. Fire Emergency Management, Mr. Walagrowski.
Thank you, Mayor. Be brief on this. As Mr. Bell just said, one of our bills for the month is for our brand new ladder truck. As of like 5 o'clock today, 4:30, 5 o'clock today, our brand new ladder truck is now in service, fully functional. And if I'm correct, Chief Rhodes, that this past weekend there was a lot of training on it, and I think you guys are kind of excited to move along with the new ladder truck. I was up there a week and a half ago, and it was pretty exciting. So we have all the paperwork. The city clerk got everything from the manufacturer, and now let's hope that we don't get to use it. That's all I can say. Other than that, the next fire emergency management meeting will be March 17th, following the DPW meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Code and Legislative, Mr. Siegel.
Thank you, Mayor. The next meeting of the Code and Legislative Committee is March the 5th at 7 p.m. right here in the council chambers. Excuse me. The code agenda and minutes are on portjervisny.org, should anybody want to review them. You also have local law number 1 of 2014. City of Port Jervis, introductory local law number 1 of 2014. A local law to amend the City of Port Jervis zoning map, Chapter 535 of the City of Port Jervis Code, to expand the residence office or RO district near City Hall. Be it enacted by the City Council of the City of Port Jervis as follows. Section 1, Statement of Findings and Purpose. The City Council of the City of Port Jervis does hereby determine and declare the following findings and purpose for this law, local law. A, the City Council finds that in order to preserve an existing residential area around the City Hall and to address the economic needs of the area, certain amendments to the zoning map of the City of Port Jervis should be made. B, the City Council finds that due to the lack of commercial demand for property in the area of City Hall, that almost 5 acres of property and 40 lots cannot be fully used and improved or sold at their present use. C, the City Council finds that rezoning 33 parcels from the Central Business District, or CBD, and 7 parcels from the Service Commercial, or SC, to Residential Office, RO, will allow the residences on these parcels to once again become conforming uses and be able to be expanded, remodeled, and sold. D, the City Council finds that rezoning these parcels is consistent with the City of Port Jervis Downtown Strategic Plan and the Master Plan. E, the City Council finds that this amendment substantially advances the legitimate government purposes as set forth herein, and will serve to advance the purpose of the zoning law of the City of Port Jervis, and will provide for the health, safety, and welfare of persons and property within the city. Section 2, Statement of Authority. The local law is authorized by New York State Constitution, Article 11, the provisions of the New York Municipal Home Rule Law, the provisions of the Statute of Local Governments, the relevant portions of the city law of the state of New York, the zoning law of the City of Port Jervis, and the general police power vested with the City of Port Jervis to provide the health, safety, and general welfare of the citizens and the landowners of the city. Section 3, Amendments to Zoning Map. Amend the City of Port Jervis Code, subsection 535-6, entitled Zoning Map, placing 40 properties and a portion of the 41st property, now in the Central Business District, or the CBD, and the Service Commercial District, SC, into the Residential Office, RO District. The parcels shall be placed into the Residential Office District and have the following section, block, and lot numbers based on the current tax rolls of the City of Port Jervis. A, add to the RO District and remove the SC District tax map parcels, Section 9, Block 12, Lots 1, 2, 13, 14, and 15, and also Section 13, Block 9, Lots 1 and 10. B, add to the RO District and remove from the CBD District tax map parcels Section 13, Block 1, Lots 3 through 6 inclusive, Section 13, Block 7, Lots 1 through 9, and 14 through 27 inclusive, Section 13, Block 9, Lots 8 and 9, and the portion of Section 13, Block 8, Lot 13 that extends to Franklin Street along with parcels Section 13, Block 8, Lots 15, 18, 19, and 20. You got that?
We're gonna need to hear this again. I'm not sure. He's not done.
Section 4,
Paragraphs left.
severability. We taped this so I could just redo it later. In any section or subsection, paragraph, clause, phrase, or provision of this local law shall be adjudged invalid for any reason or shall be deleted or subsequently repealed. The same shall not affect the validity of this local law as a whole or any provision hereof other than the part adjudged to be invalid and or deleted and or subsequently repealed. Determination of any court competent jurisdiction that any provisions of this law is unenforceable, invalid, void, unconstitutional, or in conflict with federal or state law shall in no way affect the enforceability or validity of any of the provisions contained herein. Section 5, effective date. This local law shall take effect immediately upon publication with the filing of the Secretary of State in accordance with the Municipal Home Rule Law of the State of New York. Amen.
Making that a motion?
Yes.
I have a motion from Mr. Siegel to approve local law number 1 of 2014. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Hendrick. Discussion. In discussion, I will say that this was brought up by our retired building official, Wayne Kidney, and Miss Powery, our assistant. Last year, it's been in the works for over a year, and finally it's come to fruition. But basically, in a nutshell, what Stanley was talking about, we've moved stuff out of the Central Business District into residential office, and the reason they did it is because of this whole area down here, Spring, Hammond, Franklin, Fowler Street, and then up Sussex Street here. They would have been forced to be just businesses, and a lot of them are residential homes, and that's why they sit vacant. So this should correct that problem. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you.
Thankfully, that's all I have.
Public Works and Environmental Affairs, Mr. Cunningham.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to point out that the minutes from the Public Works meeting on February 18th have been distributed. I'd like to make a motion at this time to approve those minutes.
Have a motion by Mr. Cunningham to
Second.
approve his minutes, a second by Mr. Siegel. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Little update right now, garbage and recycling pickup are on their normal schedule for the next 2 weeks. The DPW serviced our last 2 snowstorms on the 2nd and the 13th of this month. Our crews have been working weekends, nights to widen the streets and to remove the piles of snow that are built up in the city. Our DPW crews are utilizing all manpower and equipment to clean as many catch basins as possible. And we do this to avoid any excessive water ponding. Please remember the city has more than 1,000 catch basins that have to be cleaned out. DPW crews are also out filling any potholes in all of the wards. Just a reminder to everyone to help out the DPW crew on snow removal efforts. From December 1st through April 1st, no vehicles shall park on city streets or highways between the hours of 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. The fine for violating this code shall be $25. So please help them out and make sure you get your cars off the road between the hours of 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. Our next DPW meeting will be on Monday, March 17th, and the meeting will be at 6 p.m. And Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you, sir. Next, Police Committee, Mr. Hendrick.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank the district attorney for coming here tonight and making a commitment to the city of Port Jervis. I'd like to commend the chief of police warden, the detectives, the officers that participated in the arrest on Friday and the October 13th arrest with regards to the burglary at the Sam and Mabel's and that conviction today. They do a good job, and I think we know that, and they need to hear it. The City of Port Jervis Police Department and Safe Homes of Orange County will partner to start the first of several planned joint agency patrol ride-alongs, partnering Port Jervis PD with Safe Home Advocates. The purpose of the field ride-along program is to enhance partnerships, awareness, and collaboration between police officers and Safe Home Advocates to strengthen partnerships and improve our response to domestic violence in our community. Mayor, I also have a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis regarding police patrol camera systems. Whereas the City of Port Jervis Common Council has approved for the purchase of police in-car patrol camera systems and the issuance of the 2013 serial bond, it is hereby resolved that the Common Council authorize William Warden, Police Chief, to execute all documents as necessary for the competitive bidding of same. I make that a motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Hendrick, a second by Mr. Bobozo. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
And the next meeting of the Police Commission is scheduled for Monday, March 3rd at 6:30 p.m. here in the council chambers. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. On to liaison reports, CDA, IDA, Mr. Ritchie.
Thank you, Mayor. The CDA hasn't met since our last meeting, but we are scheduled to meet this Wednesday, the 26th, at 7 o'clock up in the Recreation Center, second floor. The IDA met on February 5th, and the IDA attorneys, Jacobowitz and Kubitz, came with documents for us to review, the language in the contracts. One was for the pilot resolution, and there was a very good suggestion made by our clerk treasurer, Robin Wasnager, regarding Exhibit A, Schedule A. She modified that schedule so it's easier to read for anybody that sits on the IDA board as well as the council. It's a 10-year pilot, and anybody could look at this document now and be able to read it more easily, know what's going on. The second change was made on the tax lien agreement, basically changing the dates to county taxes to January 31st. This is when they would be paid. April 30th for city taxes, and September 30th for school taxes. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. ADA Committee, Mr. Hendrick.
Thank you, Mayor. The next ADA meeting is tentatively scheduled for this Thursday, the 27th, at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Housing Authority, Mr. Siegel.
Thank you, Mayor. The Housing Authority last met on February 19th at 7 p.m. Prior to that meeting, at 6:30, their board met with some CDA personnel in reference to a discussion about Section 8. There will be another meeting with the CDA board at a later date, also about Section 8. The next meeting is March 19th at 7 p.m. Hillside Terrace. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Recreation Commission, Mr. Waldrowski.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight, the Recreation Department is at Fernwood Resort in Pennsylvania on its annual snow tubing trip. There is close to 60 adults and children attending. This Wednesday, February 26th, the playoffs start in our 5th and 6th grade league of the youth basketball. Game 1 is at 6:30 and Game 2 will follow at 7:30. The winners this Wednesday will advance to the championship game next Wednesday, March 5th, while the losers will play a 3rd and 4th place game also on March 5th. Game times for March 5th are to be announced. All of these games are open to the public and free to attend. All games are held at the ASK gym, so come down and show your support of the youth of the community. Our Saturday basketball program will conclude this Saturday, March 1st, with our skills competition. The 3rd and 4th graders will compete at 12 p.m. and the 5th and 6th graders will compete at 1:30. Pizza and awards will also be held after each session. This program is open to the public and free to attend. Our annual Cops Kids basketball game will be held on Saturday, March 8th at 10 a.m. at the ASK gym. 6th graders from our winter program will take on the Port Jervis Police Department. All kids participating can also compete in our halftime hot shot game. The prizes will be awarded. This game is also a canned food drive event. We're asking all players and spectators to bring a canned food item with them. All the food collected will be given to a local food pantry. This Friday, February 28th, we'll be holding a teen night dance party from 6:30 to 9:30. It's a black light dance party, and all teens are urged to wear white shirts or light colored shirts. Don't forget the youth center hours are Monday through Thursday, 3 to 7 p.m., Friday 3 to 6 p.m., and then teen night is every Friday night from 6 to 10. Springport Pride Day. Our annual spring cleanup will be held at the city playgrounds on Saturday, March 22nd from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We are looking for volunteer groups or individuals to help us clean up the playgrounds from the harsh winter and help us prepare them for the spring and summer months. This is a great community service project and can be used towards any community service requirements you may have. If you have any questions, contact John Fagioni at pjrec@frontiernet.net or 858-4045. Just some of the upcoming events for the Recreation Department. The Easter Candy Dash at Church Street Park, Saturday, April 19th at 10 a.m. And then the 21st Annual Delaware River Run, Sunday, May 4th at 9 a.m. And then the next Recreation Commission meeting will be held Wednesday, March 19th at 7 p.m. at the Youth Center. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Zoning Board, Mr. Ritchie.
Zoning Board, as I mentioned, since our last meeting, we are scheduled to meet March 4th. Planning Board, the Planning Board, if anybody wants to blame the bad weather, blame the Planning Board, because the first 2 months I've been the liaison on the Planning Board. In February, we had the storm the day of the Planning Board, and we had to move it to Thursday. And in the month of February, we were scheduled to meet on the 18th. Inclement weather made us the 20th. And that didn't work out, so we're scheduled to meet tomorrow night at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers. I cannot attend, and Mr. Oni has graciously decided he would fill in for me that night. So, and that's all we have.
Good guy.
Hopefully that'll start
Thank you, sir.
before the snow.
Mr. Ritchie, I apologize. I skipped over Mr. Bavozo. So for tourism, Mr. Bavozo.
Thank you, Mayor. Last Thursday, 3 members of the Tourism Board for the city attended the Tourism Industry Partners meeting held by Orange County Tourism in Goshen. It was reported that the new county executive is very pro-tourism, and the city agency is going to be looking to work with the county tourism board to help get involved with some internet marketing and with the travel guide that the county wants to put out. So hopefully the new county exec is as pro-tourism as he says. This evening, 2 tourism board members are attending the Upper Delaware Scenic Byway meeting in Narrowsburg, and they will be the new representatives from the city. And we encourage the community to support Port Jervis area cafes, restaurants, shops, and businesses by putting reviews on travel-related websites like Yelp and TripAdvisor. Tourism Board requests this because this day and age, a lot of people search for places to go through their cell phones and through other multimedia devices that they might have on hand. And placing reviews on places like this helps support those businesses and make people more aware of them. Also, I want everyone to start getting ready for May 3rd, which is really just 2 months away. That is the date for the citywide yard sale. So the planning is ongoing for that, and I will have some more information in the future as to where you can sign up to be a part of the map that's issued by the Tourism Board, so people know to come to your house and buy your stuff. The board's next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, March 11th at 6 p.m. Downstairs in the conference room in this building. Thank you. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Sorry for skipping you.
Hopefully the snow will be gone by May 3rd.
Yeah. Planning Board, Mr. Ritchie.
Yes, well, I just covered that, but I did forget something. Tomorrow night, the planning board will be looking at a public hearing for Zahara Realty. And that's the old KFC property, and conditional use permit they're looking for a fast food restaurant. And then there's a pre-submission for Dunkin' Donuts, and that's to allow for 12 additional parking spaces and a new exit onto Main Street. So anybody interested in those 2 projects, feel free to come to the meeting tomorrow night. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Plumbing and Electrical Boards, Mr. Siegel.
Thank you, Mayor. The plumbing board meeting in February was canceled due to snow. So we were wise enough not to reschedule it to the next snowstorm. So the next meeting will be on March 19th, where there will be no snow, at 6:30 p.m. And Electrical Board, all the same story, except that their meeting will be March 19th at 6:45 p.m.
Saying they have on March 5th.
Oh, was it?
Did you change? I was going to say, did you change it?
Possibly.
March 5th is the first Wednesday when your code meeting is.
I mess up this every time.
Almost every time.
So it is March 5th.
I apologize.
Frank, could you check it before we sit down tonight?
I apologize. It's March 5th. It's still not going to snow.
Good catch, Rob.
I thought you were supposed to have control over it.
I was trying to get past the snow, that's all. And that's all I really have about that.
Okay, Senior Advisor, Mr. Siegel.
All right, let's see if we can handle this one better. I met with the senior housing representatives and residents during the past month. There were no significant issues. However, I do want to extend our condolences to those that passed in the last 2 months. It seems as though we've had a really bad beginning of 2014. Some passed on, some moved. I wish them the best of luck, and that's all I have there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there an Access 23
Yes,
report?
there is.
Thank you.
Mayor, common councils, and viewers. Access 23 wants to give a very grateful thank you to the Tri-State Computer Store that is located on Pennsylvania Avenue in Matamoros, Pennsylvania. The owners are Jerry and Cindy Nolte. They donated 3 flat-screen TVs, a new VCR, new cables for the laptop and camera for our security system that they donated to us. Geez, we should get to be friends with them.
Yeah, really.
These wonderful people donated all this equipment free of charge to us to help Access 23 provide better programming to the area that we serve. They also are thinking about joining the station. We hope that others might join too. March 5th will be our first regular monthly meeting of the year. We will also be back in the studio doing our live shows, as we don't use the studio during the winter months because of the financial hardship the heating bills puts on us. We will be discussing some important issues at the March meeting, which I will report on in March. Sincerely, Ed Pease, Access 23 President.
Thank you,
I
sir.
have, thank you, Darren.
Under Mayor's correspondence and information update, I have a handful of things, but first and foremost, I'd be remiss if I didn't wish a happy 50th wedding anniversary to Frank and Jean Bell. I don't know if Jean watches, probably unlike my wife. My wife doesn't watch. She says, what went on? But so Jean, if you're watching, happy anniversary. Congratulations to both of you. On Thursday, in this room, February 27th at 7 p.m., is a community conversation about children's mental health. We invite the public to come Thursday and listen to this presentation and have some discussion in some of the issues that our children deal with here right in Port Jervis. And that's this Thursday at 7 p.m. here in this room. I do, gentlemen, have a request from the Office of the Aging for the RSVP, Retired Senior and Volunteer Program. It's their dinner to be held, so if anybody's interested in that, just let me know and we'll set you up with that dinner. That is on May 15th. It's on May 15th, so we got some time. I discussed with council members in regards to a grant that I applied for in the amount of $100,000 for the state and municipal facilities capital program that's offered by State Senator Bonasek. It's for the City of Port Jervis Motor Vehicle Police and Recreation Expansion and Rehabilitation Project. I just need a motion for that request.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bovozo, a second by Mr. Cunningham. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. It was just announced earlier, but I do have some appointments. I would like to make the appointment of Miss Debbie Schofield as our representative to the Upper Delaware Scenic Byway Commission, and the liaison representative would be Miss Kristen Trovey. They both were willing to serve. Mr. Fagione, who's got a lot on his plate with recreation, was our alternate. And wasn't able to make it, and neither was Mr. Van Cleek. I spoke with Mr. Van Cleek, and he apologized for not being able to make some of the meetings due to work-related issues. So I thank him and Mr. Fadge for serving, but I think Ms. Schofield and Ms. Trovey are going to do us quite well. I also would like to request a motion for an appointment of Assistant Corporation Counsel Michael Fox.
Make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bell, a second by Mr. Hendrick. Any discussion?
Good man.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
So carried. With that said, Mr. Fox belongs to the law firm of Jacobowitz and Gubitz, as they also serve as our IDA. I would like to also get a motion to have Jacobowitz and Gubitz as our labor attorneys. So I need a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Cunningham, a second by Mr. Walagrowski. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. And I just wanted to mention that this past weekend, the Port Jervis Middle School students, 12, 13-year-old, performed Schoolhouse Rock. You may have seen it in the front page of the Gazette. They did a nice big article on them. These kids were fantastic. People my age, if you were watching Channel 7 when you were a kid and in between cartoons, they played. That's how we learned our adjectives, our conjunctions, some of our history lessons, math, science. And these kids did a real fantastic job, and I just want to put a shout out to some of the kids out there that really did a great job. As a matter of fact, District Attorney's son, Hoovler's son, was one of the lead roles. The last thing I'd like to do is just put a shout out to people that are watching on TV or watching on the internet. And if you're interested in getting involved in the city, we're looking for volunteers, people to get involved in committees, to help with some of the new things that we're introducing. Please contact my office, speak with my assistant Cody, 845 858-4017. Again, it's 858-4017. Cody's looking forward to calling him, and we'll find something for you to do. Or if there's something that you're interested in, please contact us, and the more the merrier. That's all that I have. So we move on next to City Clerk Treasurer report.
Yes, out of our office, you may be well aware, we do the dog licensing for the city of Port Jervis. And the Orange County Department of Health is offering a free rabies clinic Saturday, March 15th, 2014, from 9 a.m. to noon in the town of Monroe. Well, we understand it's a ways to travel, but it is a free vaccination service. They do have a pre-registration number, should you wish to call and pre-register, at area code 845-782-0302. And if you bring proof of the prior rabies vaccination, they will give them a 3-year shot as opposed to a 1-year shot. So that's quite a monetary savings. Other than that, the City Clerk Treasurer's Office is business as normal, just doing prep work for the issuance of the city tax bills also on March 15th.
Thank you, Ms. Bosnager. All business, Mr. Siegel.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not going to talk about walking in the streets because I can understand why some of us won't walk in the streets, but I do want to talk about crosswalks because someone is going to get killed. If you see someone in the crosswalk, especially now with the roads in the condition that they're going to be on Tuesday night, Wednesday, please use caution, stop, and let the people cross the street. I'd like to thank all those that cleared fire hydrants and storm drains in the past storms that we've had. I'd like to also thank the firefighters and DPW for their efforts as well. It's a daunting task, especially when we get this much snow, which we're not used to, and you can't find the hydrants, and you have to search for them. So thanks again for that. Excuse me. I was assigned the task of obtaining information on voice broadcasting, and I've contacted some people, some companies. Some of it's very expensive and well beyond what we need. So I've gone back to a couple others. Went back to Nixle, and I've asked them for a lower price on only what we need to do. Hopefully the man will call me back tomorrow about that. And I tried out one with you yesterday, Kelly, and that one is by time, by minutes, and it's not very expensive, and you can just put a database in there and it'll dial through that. We would have to obtain the phone numbers, and there's a couple others that didn't get back to me, so I don't think it's going to be difficult to get it. It's just going to be difficult to get one that has what we need and what we can afford. So I'll report back, and I guess your assistant Cody is working on it, and someone else is working on it. So it shouldn't take long. We should have something for it. And this is for the people that don't have cell phones, that don't have internet, that just rely on the telephone. And we do have many of those, especially seniors, and we need to get the word out to them, and that's the only way we know we can do it. And oh boy, that's it. Thank you.
Mr. Honey.
Well, no, I just want to add, I know a couple other people mentioned it, that support to the DPW and the police and the fire and the ambulance. Anybody had to function through these last couple snowstorms has been very difficult. The process for the DPW is ongoing. And I'd like to say that against all odds, Stanley's right. We haven't had snows like this in quite a while.
That's two one day.
It's difficult. Well, I should have. I want to amend what I just said. He was towards being right, but I'd just like to say that did a job under extreme circumstances, put in a lot of hours, and we're thankful. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ritchie.
I have nothing more, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hendrick.
Nothing, Mayor, thanks.
And Mr. Boboza.
No old business, thank you, Mayor.
Sir, Mr. Cunningham.
Nothing, Mayor.
Mr. Walagrowski.
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Bell.
No, Mayor.
New business, Mr. Bell.
I've passed.
Mr. Waligrowski,
I pass.
Mr. Cunningham.
Nothing, Mayor.
Everybody wants to get out of here tonight, Mr. Veloso.
Nothing there.
Now, don't worry, I got a nice big pile for us. For
I will say one thing if I can.
Sure.
We had our party there yesterday. There were a couple of people who said my wife should be nominated for
As a
sainthood. 50
sainthood,
years.
we'll send that on to the Pope.
Okay.
I did fail to mention one thing during my mayor's correspondence. The church I'll be attending this week will be the Sparrowbush Methodist Church on Main Street in Sparrowbush at 11 o'clock. They specifically asked me for the first Sunday of the month because they have lunch afterwards, and they said anybody is invited. So I said, hey, lunch afterwards, I'll go. I got to watch this, though. Sparrowbush Methodist Church, 11. I'll meet anybody that wants to meet out here at 10:30 on Sussex Street. That's all. Mr. Hendrick?
Yes, Mayor. As far as going home early, I have a motion for executive session. Under contractual, there's 6 matters. DPW, the CSEA Memorandum of Agreement and Maintenance Subcontracts for City-Owned Property. Invite Mr. Lopez. Telecom Tower Proposal. The 4th thing, I guess, is sale of city-owned property tax liens. Water rents and PBA, and invite Mrs. Wazenegger, and city purchases. And then under personnel, building department, and invite Ms. Powery.
Is that it?
That's it.
I think we need Mr. Lopez, too.
I did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't forget.
All right, so I have a motion by Mr. Hendrick, second by Mr. Bell. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
That's all I have.
Mr. Ritchie?
I have nothing new, but when you go to these churches, usually say we meet down here and we walk. Will we walk in Sparrowbush?
No, that's why I said I'll meet you outside here. We'll be driving.
Just be careful with the crosswalks.
That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Oni?
Mayor, under new business, are we gonna take action on this proposal that we got? Were you,
We
is there anything
could
we have to go to
discuss it.
executive session for? or-
Well, I mean, if you want to bring it up, they gave us the resolution that other towns have had, but I haven't had, because we just did it today and they
Yeah.
just met me today.
Yep.
I haven't had Mr. Bavozo look at it,
Okay.
so maybe we should just wait the 2 weeks so that he can review it.
Okay.
All
I'm
right?
trying to shorten it a little.
Actually, it's not too, it's not too, that's pretty boilerplate.
Right.
But I, they were saying they were gonna wait.
But if you guys had any questions.
I got you.
Yeah, I have questions.
Because I read the thing and I'm all for it.
Okay.
So I'll ask them later.
Anything else, sir? Okay. And Mr. Siegel?
Just a few items.
Sit back.
This is a shout out. I guess that's the term, shout out. A shout out to the people that have satellite TVs, specifically or especially absentee landlords or landlords of multifamily homes. There appears to be a great number of satellite dishes that are no longer in use. When you see a 2-family home with 5 satellite dishes, and a couple of them have double heads, you can be pretty sure that they're not all in use. There are abandoned homes that don't appear to have them in use. So also, we're going to be looking at a local law to require the Dish TV people, the Direct TV people, the Hughes people, whoever puts them up there, to remove them once the contract is over. That will not do much for those that are existing. So the shout out is those people to try to get their landlord to remove the ones that are non-functional, or to call a company that owns it, because you don't own that equipment, you use it, to come and get it, because I had a lot of complaints about it being an eyesore. And then the fact is, some aren't even on the roofs, some are on the roofs and probably leaking into the house, some are in the yards. It's just a nightmare out there. So if you have someone on your home and you're a renter, please talk to your landlord. If you have someone in your home that you're not using, please talk to yourself, but we would like to try to get them down. Sharon and I had an opportunity to go to a Taste of Sicily last night and get a pizza there. We didn't have time to get a sandwich or anything, but the food was great. Frank, Terry, and I can't say it. Alessandra wanted me to tell everybody on the council that they're very grateful for the effort that the city made to get them open. and they're very grateful to being here. They're great proprietors, they have a nice place, and they hope to be a downtown destination for a long time. I did talk to Mike Riley about it yesterday, and she wanted to be sure that everybody here knew that they're grateful that everybody helped out and got the business open finally. And the pizza was really good. We attended Gene and Councilman Bell's 50th anniversary, and congratulations also. We were fortunate enough to sit with one of the sons, and I'm not going to mention the name so he doesn't get in trouble later on. But we did find out that after all the kids got out of the house and all the grandchildren came along, Frank and Jean's life changed dramatically. It changed from working hard and raising a family. I think the words were eating, shopping, and eating. So they're doing that well. So I want to congratulate them on that as well. I'm probably in a lot of trouble with Jean.
Jean's on her way here now.
Well, she thought I was, never mind. Next is, I attended Port Jervis Fire Department 8-hour OSHA training with about 75 other firefighters and the fire chiefs. And I'd like to thank everybody that attended and thank the instructor, Vandermark, for a different kind of OSHA training that was very specific to current needs. And I don't think anybody left there without learning something important and enjoying the day. So thanks to everybody that went, and thanks, Chief, for putting it on. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah, that's it.
Our second public comment, 3-minute limit, if there's anybody from the public that would like to speak. Hearing none, can I entertain a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mr. Cunningham, second by Mr. Ritchie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.